Okay, hello guys. So as promised, I'm gonna do you guys a tutorial about skinning, and I will talk a little bit about physics as well, because I see a lot of people asking me for the file. I will not give you the file anymore. I don't have the file even yet, but I think you should do it yourself. I mean, if you're desperate to asking a file, that's not very smart. I mean, you should do it yourself, because the file will help you, but not really. You need to know how to do it. If you know how to do it, you can do it yourself over and over again. It's always better. So as you can see, I just copy the same here, but this one's going to be for physics, this one's going to be for skinning. A cool trick I can teach you on this group: if you right click this, select child nodes, and then you click on rename, you can add a prefix. I put in mine and then rename everyone with that prefix, like that, second, like I did. So I know which bones I'm working on. In case you're following the tutorial, some people like to follow and do the same. So, okay, so we're going to start with this one. So we're going to add skinning. There you go, skin. As you can see, skin comes with nothing, okay? And this nothing means we had to add the bones. As you can see here, I'm going to start adding the bones from this guy. So this guy, I'm going to actually do the node, attachment node, not this one, I mean the pelvis node, sorry. The pelvis node is one node that people forget about, but you can actually use this to help you in your skinning. Now we'll show you why and why, when and why. Okay, so you're going to have the bicep, the clasp, the elbow. Okay, I'm going to just put everything in. I'm not going to say everything. I'm just going to click on them. The tie. We're going to have the tie because the tie sometimes is useful. Yes. The next, sure. Even I don't think, I'm sure we're not going to use all of them, but yeah. Everyone has their way of skinning. I have mine. And you should find yours. So I'm just missing the spines. There we go. The spines, normally we don't need spine 3, or at least I don't use spine 3. I use 1, 2, and 4. Sometimes I just use 1 and 4. Depending on what I'm doing, but in this case I'm going to use all of them. So I show you why. So you have to understand why you don't need sometimes them, because when you move one, the other one will move eventually, and sometimes you don't need it. Okay, this is the second. I was going to click already. I was going to do a mistake there, and I feel like we have everything. I don't see the pelvis node. Oh, there you go, pelvis node. Because sometimes when you're playing here with the tie, you want to have pelvis node actually, okay, to help you. But it's more when the dress goes like down here. This one we shouldn't even use tie here, but okay, just for tutorial purposes. Okay, so as you can see here now, we can now isolate this, Alt-Q, it's what I clicked. And we have envelopes already working. You see red means it's getting pulled to that bone. Means this bone is affecting those vertexes. So if we scroll here, you can see already looks kind of cool. Doesn't look so bad. Okay, of course it's breaking here, but this is a IMVU trick. I'm pretty sure I showed this on the other videos. You need to put this in spine 4. All of this is supposed to be in spine 4. So there you go. This is what you get from the beginning. As you can see, there's a lot of mistakes, but even here, this is a complicated area where a lot of people have troubles here. Even I have troubles here because, it's complicated sometimes. It gets boring too. You have to really push it and work until it's good. That's why you have those poses here. As you can see, it's not that bad, actually. It doesn't look so bad. Okay, so that's skinning for you, the beginning. So go in the envelopes. If you click on vertices, and you click on one of those red vertices, and then you come down here, you see here, this is what is affecting it. It should be always normalized, never rigid. Because if you put rigid, it's going to have only one value. What I mean by that is, sometimes you want to have spine 1 and spine 2 working together. So you want like 0.5 in spine 1, 0.5 in spine 2. So the vertex stretch between those 2 points when the character is moving. So that's why you should always put normalize, because it will do that. If you put rigid, it will only choose one of those bones. And the way to see that, you have this option over here. It's popped right here. I don't know if you can see it right there. I'm going to put it right here. And this tells you exactly which vertex is being affected by which bone. For example, if I click here, only clavicle, but if I go here, I'm pretty sure I'm going to find something here that has more than one bone. Apparently not. Everything is red. This skinning that they did, let me see. Yeah, apparently everything is, oh no, there you go. So if you click here, as you can see now, we have some bicep and some elbow. Which makes sense. In this area, we should have those. We should be a transition between bicep and elbow. Makes sense. Again, this video is for more for IMVU. Not if you're looking for a skinning tutorial on 3D. Yeah, you can watch. You will learn how to do it as well. But it should not be exactly what you're looking for. This is very simple things for IMVU. Okay. Let's start then. How do we start skinning this? How does skinning work? Do I go vertex by vertex? No, fuck no. Sorry, bad English. The first thing you can do is check the envelopes, which I don't want to change them because they look good for me. You should always go check the envelope, see what's happening here. For example, do I want the shoulder bone? Normally I don't use shoulder bone. Maybe just me, but I don't use it. When the piece rotates, it kind of rotates everything else. So for example, in this skinning, I'm going to show you the shoulder, but sometimes you don't want the shoulder. In my last tops, I didn't even use the shoulder, and it works fine, because sometimes the shoulder can be a nonsense. So you have to figure it out when a bone is being bad for your mesh, and you need to take it out. In this case, I'm going to leave it, so I do a lot of transactions, so you understand how this works. Okay, second thing I like to do when I'm working on something is, as you can see here, we have so many animations like that and that, but they're not really that good, okay? So what I want to do is I want to get here, for example, on spine 2 and spine 1 first. I want to turn this auto key on. First, before that, I want to go like here, time configuration, and we're going to put this like 1,000. So we have more frames to work with. So this is how the IMVU gave us. So this is good to have, to always have those to test it out. And then we can make our own. So what I do is I auto key and then I click on this little key here to make a keyframe there. I don't know if you know how to animate, but this is how you animate. We have a keyframe there. No, just pull like a few frames and then I like to do like that. See, because we have auto key, so it should be auto keying everything there. If he's not auto keying everything, you just click here and see if he has this on, those parameters on at least. And then I like to do the other way around. And then I like to go back to normal. So there you go. Bang, bang, bang. So now I'm going to do this to that one as well. So key here, few frames, go back, few frames, go forward. And then I click shift drag and I go back to the initial pose. And I'm going to do this to this one as well. I can click it. So key there, move a little bit back, a little bit forward. And there you have it. And now for the last one, we're going to use the spine 4. We're getting low on frames here, but it should be okay. So, auto key there, back, and now forward. And now we're going to shift and click, and there you go. Okay, so we should have that. So now we're going to want to go, whoa. We're going to go grab this one we're working on. We're going to isolate, Alt Q, and there you have it. So now we should have our cool animations, which is going to help. So spine 1, as you can see, normally rotates everything, which it's okay. It's supposed to do that, right? Not really. That's, I mean, it's supposed to rotate everything, but in here, sometimes we don't want this to happen. As you can see, like it breaks. So if we have, let's go grab our bottom here. Not you. Okay. So you can see here, in this case, it's working kind of in our favor because we kind of have the cut precisely where the pants meet. But if it was more down here, for example, you need to have thigh bone here, and pelvis bones as well. Pelvis bones helps a lot in this area over here to make sure your mesh doesn't break. Okay? Okay, so moving on. I'm going to turn this on. There we go. So, how do we work now? So we're going to come here, we're going to get spine 4, we're going to click edit envelopes, we're going to get spine 4, and we're going to see that it's supposed to be affecting vertexes that it's not affecting. On the back, I kind of like the idea of this for now on the back, because sometimes it messes up in here. But on the top, as you can see, we need all of this to be spine 4. So how are we going to do this? There's two ways you can do this. You can just come here, select, but as you can see, it's going to select the back as well. So you need to be careful of like a careful selection here. Just make sure you select only those ones, and then you come here, spine 4, and you put 1 like crazy. Okay. Another method you can do, which is the one I totally recommend, like 100% recommend. So this is why I don't use spine 3, because spine 4, I like to put those vertices between spine 2 and spine 4. and then I have one down here. So that's why sometimes spine 3, you can just take it out, okay? Actually, I'm going to show you so you understand this. I'm going to take this one out so you see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to take spine 3 out because we don't need it. So what's happened now is when we click on spine 4, and I want, as you can see now, spine 4 is affecting the boobies without even me doing anything, because we took spine 3 out. It's going to grab the spine 4 and it's going to, you know, make sure that everything goes there, and which gives us a good smooth already. As you can see, it's already what I was saying that I want the cut to be. So that's why I take sometimes spine 3 out. Sometimes, I mean, I'm lying. I take it all the time. Let's be honest, I take it all the time. Unless, no, I'm lying as well. Unless it's like complicated mesh on this area, you should have it. But normally you should not have it, so just take it out. I don't even know why IMVU did 4 spines to begin with. But it is what it is. Now, you have the paint wave. This is where you do all your fucking work. So when you click weight table right here, when you click on those 3 dots over there, we have the strengths here and the max size. Those 2 that I have right now, perfect. Don't touch. I never touched them. I use 1 and 20 all the time. Now, what I don't use all the time is this paint blend width. Okay. So what you do here, when you take this out and you click on Alt, left Alt, and then you click and you will remove, well, it's not working here. You will remove forces from the bone, and then I'm going to show you how. And if you don't click on Alt and you just click, he will paint hard. It will paint with max strength of 1. In this case, is what we want. So we're going to paint like 1 here. See how it's becoming red? We want this to be red because this is supposed to be spine, right? So we're going to just paint around and make sure it's red, this area. Okay. There we have it. We want this to be red. Okay. Don't worry about too much about this. Is supposed to be red as well. You know, all this area here is supposed to be red. Be careful when getting here to these areas. Don't go in there yet, because those areas are the complicated areas of the. So at the beginning we want just around here. I'm already pushing it. I'm going to show you what I mean by if I click Alt now and I paint. See, I take it out. As you can see. See, if you paint with Alt pressed and this option off, you will take it out. Some people don't know this, and that's why skinning, it's complicated for them. There you go. Well, I don't want to go there for now. No, but this area I do want it. This area, just paint everything here. So he's painting the vertices, okay? Not the faces, the vertices. Some people confuse that as well. They think that he's painting the faces or the segments, but no, he's painting vertices, okay? Okay, I'm just going to go there, and then we will see. We'll fix this better as long as we go. But this is the important area is here. Here it really needs to be. I don't want it there. Now I'm going to show you how to fix skinning. So when you go here now, when we blend the fort, as you can see, look at that. Horrible, right? Look at that. What is this? Like, it's very simple. All you got to do is turn this paint blend once on. What this is going to do is going to smooth. Remember I told you about if you have one in the normalize, it's going to normalize the vertex. It's going to put like one value in one bone and another value on another bone. But with this option on, he will look at the smoothness of the mesh. So I'm going to show you right now. As you can see, I have spine 4 selected. I don't want spine 4 right now. I'm going to pass spine 2. Good. And now as I paint here, look what's going to happen. I'm going to take away a little bit from the spine 4, and I'm going to start fixing my mesh. Okay, remember, you're always fixing with very not natural movements. So when the natural movements happen, there's no glitches. Here, look at this, horrible, right? So now we grab on spine 4 as well. With this option always on, and we come here too. We give it a little bit. Don't be scared of painting around those areas. Look at that. See, just go in there and paint. I'm on spine 4. Paint. I can already say this video is going to be long. It's fine. I don't know. You always know that my tutorial is always long because I like to explain everything. So as you can see, spine 4 pulling a little bit more to spine 4. Well, the geometry of this top is horrible, okay? You should never have this type of geometry, okay? But this is skinning. I'm just using the default skin, so... as you can see, we start to blend in. But again, take this off and take it out. Why am I doing this? Don't push it, like don't go too far away from the bone area, okay? Because we have more bones, okay? But for now, we're gonna paint a little bit more. This is fucking horrible here, but it's gonna be like that. Because this mesh, man, the default mesh is so bad. I don't even know who meshed this. But... oh. Okay, so go back to spine 2. Maybe some paintings there. See how it's fixing itself, slowly fixing itself. Sometimes you push too much, sometimes it doesn't. Just find a good balance while you're painting. For example, I don't want it there. Okay, make sure everything is pretty, right? Make sure everything is smooth and pretty. Don't have crazy connections when they're not supposed to be. Just don't, like there. I don't like this, for example. Get out, see? Just make sure you're painting only the vertex that really need to be painted on. And voila, see how easy skinning is? Nothing complicated. And this is the same process for every single part of your body. And I'm going to show you the hard parts, of course. So this is spine 2. As you can see, spine 2 is affecting down here. I don't want it to affect down there. But for now, it's going to have to. We're going to have to deal with that. In this case, maybe I do want everything to be spine... no. I want like spine 2 to stop around this area so I can have spine 1 connect with this one, okay? So we have smooth blendings. Yeah, gonna need to go on spine 1 after and show you. Okay, look how smooth it's getting. This mesh will never get smooth because we have this weird geometry, but you start to get the feeling like the way it was and the way it is now. You understand now what we're doing here. You can see how easy it is to fix. So now, that's why we did this animation. Now, I'm pretty sure we have another one. There we go. Now this, don't fix this, okay? Like, this is an extreme movement, okay? You can fix it, but you will like squash a lot. And we don't want that, okay? We want the boobs to always be intact, okay? The boobs should never break. It's, the woman power. They should never break. They should never bend, okay? Just, this is exactly what you want to see. But you want to see there. See how he bends correctly there? Good. It's good, that's it. It's perfect. Like this, it's absolutely perfect. Again, you can come here and fix it, but I don't recommend fixing too much the boob area, okay? Because if she's sitting down on stuff, the boobs will always be there. But so that's what really matters, okay? But again, if you feel like you want to squish boobs, just paint away. And spine 2, okay. So now we're going to go for spine 1. And we're going to take this off because I want to paint hard. And I want to paint this area over here with spine 1. I think spine 1 should be just around there. Maybe this one. Nothing crazy. There you go. So now if you go on spine 2, now maybe if we bend the spine 2 like that, now we can come here with spine 2 selected and we start blending in some of those vertexes so it doesn't break. And again, we don't have much geometry here to play with, so never touch that one or it's gonna break everything. But with the geometry that we have, we're gonna try and fix this, okay? So just paint, see? Just let the software, again, don't paint down there. Just let the software do the work for you. Just don't even bother doing anything else. Just painting around, it will fix the valves. I'm gonna show you what's happening with the vertexes in a second. Again, if you're fixing the front, fix the front. Fixing the back, fix the backs. Again, this geometry is absolutely insane, but that's the IMVU for you. That's why people do with their body shapes. So, okay. And now we're gonna be on this side. Look how we're still not good there, see? We need more influence there, but be careful, again. Just paint away. And this is a trial and error process, okay? Then you should go on the IMVU and keep trying. When if you think you have the skin right, go on the IMVU and keep trying until it's really right, okay? Because I'm telling you something, it will never be right, no matter what. There will always be something weird that you have to deal with it. So you can go on spine 1 and we can paint here. If you don't like this belly the way it looks, you can put a lot of spine 1 in here. And we start fixing a little bit more, make it more smooth. Like this is what we're doing, what I told not to do with the boobs, but in this case we can do it. Sure, why not? Always make sure that this bends correctly. Spine 1 is important here, okay? Because if it's an extreme bend, let it be extreme skin then. So when the bad bends happen, everything should be okay. So you start getting the idea now. All you want to do is get this red to blue transition, okay? And in the blue area, it's when the next bone is going to start acting. So in this case, spine 2, as you can see? It's when the spine 2 is strongest. So it's like, keep going like this. Keep going like that. I'm saying this, but there's no blue in this one. It can happen. It cannot be no blue, but the idea is to have, this is the perfect skin right there. You want to have a smooth away from your power strength of the bone. So as you can see now, as you stretch back, see how it's now going along this nicely? And as you can see, the skinning starts to get really cool. As you can see here, when spine, I think this is spine 2 moving, something is getting affected in here. And that's, for example, in my case, I don't like it. So go here, take this off, Alt, and make sure that those vertex down here don't have any. So when I do this, I don't want the bottom vertex to move. We can fix that manually after. But for now, we're just painting like that, okay? So here we have it. This is how you start doing skinning. Not so hard after all, is it, guys? So look at this weird move. The spine 4 will always have this weird movement, okay? It's supernatural. You may have some problems here sometimes that you need to fix, but this is very natural, very normal. And the way to fix this is just smooth like this. Just smooth with spine 4 selected, because we want this to be spine 4, okay? Just smooth it out. Just make sure you smooth out. For example, I have some, don't affect that, for example. See, I don't want it to affect that. Maybe this is too much already. Maybe it's not. And here, maybe I should have been a better transition with spine 2. So we come here with spine 2 on this area, it's fine. I'm gonna take this out and this out. For now, with spine 1, and we can't fix this one here unless put some spine 4 in here. I don't recommend putting spine 4 in there, okay? So, but again, this is an extreme bend, okay? This is a very, very extreme bend. Okay, so if I put spine 4 in here, it will fix this bend, okay? But it can cause problems in the future. If you have, for example, the skin underneath this, it can cause some problems because it's a lot of spine, okay? A lot of spine 4 affection, and we don't want that. So I'm thinking if we put pelvis node here, it's too far away. Okay, so this is why sometimes I like the pelvis, but it needs to be down there, but we're just going to paint it there. Just going to paint spine 4, and if there's mistakes happen, I'll show you how to fix them. Because if I keep painting with spine 4 all the way down there, as you can see, I'm going to start painting and painting, and the dress is going to be all smoochy, so we don't want that, okay? There's 2 reasons why this has happened. This is happening because, first reason, and more important reason at all, is because this top does not have many vertices, okay? If he had more vertices, this wouldn't happen. So, but since he doesn't have many vertices, this will happen a lot of times. So, in this case, we're gonna leave it. I know it looks ugly, but it's, remember, it's an extreme pose. So if it's more normal pose, just a normal blend of the spine. Okay, something is really pushing this in the back like that. Look at that. It's too much influence maybe. So maybe we take it out. And this is more deal with. Maybe we can deal with this here. There you go. See, I told you about keep your eyes open and see what's too much, what's not too much. See, I took one row and then I smoothed that row that I took out, and I make sure it blends nicely in there. So there you go. That's better. Again, I'm just blindly doing this. I didn't even plan this ahead, but I've done this so many times. I should have been better than I am right now, but sure. IMVU is always tricky. But as you can see, just remember to play with this. Take it out, turn it off, on and off to take it on, and you should be good to go. There you go. That's much better. Yeah, I was slightly there, but again, we don't have much geometry to work here, so that should be okay. How's the forward bend? Forward bend is perfect. That's what we want. Okay, so now the hard part. Now I show you the spine. Oh, again, before I know, and this one we don't notice, but if it was down here, like I told you, you should go on tie and put very small values around here, just a little bit, like 0.7 values in those areas, and pelvis node around these areas over here too as well. Pelvis node around these areas here, pelvis node around here too, so the mesh doesn't break, okay? Okay, so now we're gonna go for the hard part. As I told you before, clavicle and bicep, it's the only ones I like to work with. I do not like to work with the shoulder, because I'm gonna tell you why. And this is for you to understand, of course. If you come here and you rotate the shoulder, notice what is he moving? You're moving pretty much the bicep. And if you rotate the bicep, it's the same as the shoulder. Believe it or not, but kind of is. Okay, the shoulder would be like, if this was correct, the shoulder would be a movement just in the shoulder to do some kind of shoulder move. But this IMVU, this toe, it's all you need, the clavicle and the bicep. So what I'm going to do again, I'm going to remove the shoulders on one side, and I'm going to leave it on, which side I'm going to take the shoulder? Left side, yeah, left side. And I'm going to leave it on the other side, so we see the differences, okay? So how do we start fixing this mad hell? Again, the same thing, a little bit the same as the spine. Okay, so we have the spine animations right there. We're going to do kind of the same for the clavicle. So now we are at 1,000. We're going to put like 2,000. Okay? And now we're going to turn the auto key on. And a key there. A few frames forward. Careful, because now it's a lot of frames forward. And now we just, for example, go here, rotate, and now we go very high, like mentally high, and then a few frames mentally low, and then we click and drag. Okay, there you go. Now we do the same for the shoulder, even if we're not going to use the shoulder. So we're going to click here, a few frames ahead, crazy down, but don't too crazy, because sometimes you're fixing stuff they're not supposed to fix. And crazy high. This is not even a natural bend, but sure. Again, fix the not natural to have the natural good. And now bicep. So in the bicep, what we're going to do is the same thing. Key, few frames, down, few frames, up, or down, up, whatever. And shift, click, and drag. Okay. This is just up and down. We just swing up and down, okay? And it's supposed to be to the sides as well, okay? But now we just fix up and down. But in this case, I'm just going to do it already for the bicep, because I know like this. And now we go here, and we pull it like that. Now we pull it like that. And then now we put it, oops, and we put it back on. Okay? Should do the same for the clavicle here. I should have done right next, but whatever. Here, go back to the clavicle. So, forward, now back, and then go back to normal. Okay? And now the elbow. The elbow is the one that rotates like crazy. People like to do crazy rotations with the elbow, but in real life, remember, your elbow can only, can only bend one way, okay? The elbow cannot do this. A lot of people animate weirdness, but it is what it is. So, auto key, keyframe there. Just bend it like that. Crazy bend. Now just crazy bend as well, even if it's not natural. And there. Okay, that's it for now. So it's the same process now. And I did the same thing as I did the other time as well. So now grab this guy. We can now put this back on. and we start fixing this. So we go back where it is. Okay, there you go. So when it goes up and down the clavicle, as you can see here, there's a lot of problems already. So how do we fix this? You already know how to fix this. We know we need to have something between a bicep, the clavicle, and the spine, okay? So if I go to the clavicle and I paint with this on right now, nothing will happen. Well, in here, yeah, because we have some spine for, okay? But as you can see here, nothing will happen. In here, nothing will happen. So how do we fix this? We go to bicep, make sure you're working on the right bicep, and we start painting a little bit up ahead, okay? We're gonna put bicep here. So we have some bicep values. Something you can try is the bicep gonna affect this? So you can take this off and make sure it's very strong, and if you click on it, as you can see, too much clavicle. So what we need here is our little friend spine 4. So if you come here and paint with this on, now we're gonna start smoothing this out. Okay, just like so. Again, don't worry about the first initial skinning. You're going to be skinning a lot of times. So don't really worry about it. So now if you go to clavicle again, I think we're working on the left clavicle. Yeah. So we can paint and paint. So we start doing the same as the spines, right? So we start smoothing out the interactions between them. Be careful with the spine here, it can cause problems, okay, depending on what type of mesh you have, okay? Again, this mesh does not have too many vertices. I already regret, but it's okay. Remember, this will never look natural because the movement we're doing is not natural at all, but this should move with the clavicle, okay? Like, where is the, we done too, but the clavicle should be a little bit more smooth than this, right? Because look at the way the bone is. Did I rotate the bone? How did I even do this movement? See? I just rotate the bone so high that it looks weird. But again, the clavicle should be affecting everything in here, and it's not. So clavicle, left clavicle, paint, and just put a lot of paint in there for now. Just like that. And now smooth, turn on the smooth, and smooth this. So he finds a good value. Careful to not go into the other guy, clavicle. No, just smoothing this out. The clavicle needs to be really strong in here, okay? It should be almost everything clavicle in here, but smooth, take your time, don't hurry up. Keep painting those problematic areas. Okay, now it's doing a little bit better bending, as you can see there. Starting to get, oh, don't fix big curves, okay? Just keep it simple. The more simple bones you have, the better. Just keep on going. This will be fixed with bicep probably. The bicep here, it's going to be a big influence in fixing some of those mistakes there. But not for now. It's for different angles. Okay, maybe the bicep is pushing it too much in there. We don't want bicep to be that much right now. Okay. Oops. You can control Z like any other thing as well. Yeah, in there it's gonna have it there. So, okay. Back to clavicle. And we're gonna keep smoothing this out as much as we can. There you go. Clavicle should be very dominant, even here in the back, okay? Because when you move your clavicle, a lot of things move as well. Like something you want to see it like something like this, okay? Around like that, okay? This is how the clavicle should be working. It's okay if you put on biceps on clavicle too, it's fine. If something is really bad, we work it after. It looks weird now because we don't have this side fixed, remember that. So Just smooth it. Maybe here I'm already pushing my luck here, but no, it should be okay too. Yeah, see, it's getting there. Okay, so now next movement. So if we go down now, we don't want to fix this right now, okay? Because to fix this, it's probably gonna break. It's a big fix here, okay? We're going back here after we fixed the bicep. There you go. So what you want to see in the bicep is, on IMVU, it's kind of, you don't want this side to be affected. So what happens a lot is, see how it goes in there? It sucks, okay? And we don't want it to go that much in there, okay? So we click on the bicep here, and we're gonna start painting a little bit, like the armpit. So we start smoothing those areas here, but be careful, okay? Don't push it, because the bicep is a bone that's supposed to be influenced their areas and a little bit around here, okay? Just like so. We want to see that. We want to see this. We want to see weird bends so we can fix this. Right there. Look at that. See, we want to have those weird bends. If you click like a lot of times and drag, it paints a different value over and over again. So sometimes it's faster. Yeah, smoothing it out a little bit more. Okay. When it goes down, look at the shoulder now. Good. It's doing that rubber. It feels like rubber, but rubber is good. Rubber is really good. So when you see, as you can see, when you look from the back and side, it looks like the arm is closed, and we don't see the mistake there, or the mistake, not a mistake, but you can come here a little bit more. We can make to see more, but we don't want to. We want this to be actually connected in there, you know? You want it to be exactly the way it is. Perfect. Okay? Perfect. There you have it. Now this is kind of weird here. I really don't like this, but I'm pretty sure it's because it doesn't have clavicle. See, there you go. So a little bit of clavicle helps as well. Just make sure you don't push it again, because we don't want to, you know, see, we don't want to do this, okay? We want it to be nice and smooth. There you have it. Now if clavicle goes up, fixed over there, go down, that's perfect. Here you can fix this a little bit here if you want to, but again, this is depending on what type of mesh you're working with, because sometimes fixing those little bends can be bad for your mesh. You can break it. Sometimes you want to leave them, okay? Because look, this is an extreme pose. Look at that. Like no human should do that, okay? Everything should be bending, and we don't want that. Sometimes you just have to find a good balance between your skinning and your product. Because to be honest, I feel like this is not supposed to be here right now. At least right now, I don't like this right there. See, I just want some area of this to be bending, but not all of it. Okay. And again, depending on the mesh, this mesh is weird because it's the body of the IMVU. It's not very straight, but still, it has very good, some of very good connections, some very good polygon and segments, open. Hard to explain what I'm trying to say, but like, yeah, some of things that are well done in this mesh, but a lot of things are not done well with that. But as you can see here, this flow should be clavicle, I guess. Again, this is a trial and error thing. Okay. Yeah, again, don't fix that. At least I don't think I should be fixing that, because it's an extreme pose. Okay, if it goes down just a little bit, you can see maybe here a little bit more, and here too. Just fix a little bit. Don't really push it, because it's doing what it's supposed to do. Okay. Now next, what we have here? What next poses we have? We have those. Now those should be okay. As you can see, I move the bicep forward, and is doing what it's supposed to do. Is oops, what am I painting with? I'm painting with clavicle. Let me grab the bicep. Yeah, clavicle is a good paint here. We can do this, but I'm gonna but again, we don't want a skinny arm. Look at this. We want to have some kind of limit here, like how far we can push this, okay? Because look at that, it looks retarded already, okay? But it is, sometimes people do this and we have to have a fix for this. If we can keep painting and painting and painting until everything is smooth, but sometimes you can make the arm, I'm gonna show you. And probably I will not have undos left, but it's okay. You can make the arm look really, really skinny because it's pushing and pushing the bones, and at some point you just want the bone to do its thing, okay? Look at that. It's already getting too skinny, so we should get the bicep and fix this. It's, again, this is a weird pose. If there's a pose on the IMVU that does this, the guy should just not even sell that pose. The poses should be better done, okay? Sometimes if you try a product on some weird pose and the product is looking weird, remember that maybe the pose is weird, okay? Because if you do this, what I'm doing right now, and if it still looks bad and everything looks very smooth in here, then dude, there has to be something wrong with the avatar poses or the furniture poses. Okay, look at that. It's already kind of smooth there. So now we have a back one, as you can see. Super smooth, way too smooth. But, you know, it's a good skinning, so smooth it is. So nothing breaks, even if something goes crazy. Should not break too much. And now, this rotation here. Again, this area here, be very careful when fixing this, okay? It's going to be kind of... because you don't want the boobs to break. And if you don't want the boobs to break, something has to break instead of, okay? And sometimes it's okay to break that, okay? Again, in this case, because I have very big boobs, but sometimes you don't want to break it. Sometimes you want to fix it, and the way to fix it is always clavicle and spine 4, okay? You would just go here and, you know, start putting more clavicle. But again, I really don't like to touch this, because I like the boobs always to be intact, and everyone should do that. Careful, here is supposed to be, so if you go here on spine 4, I'm going to show you if you really want everything fixed, and I start painting those values, as you can see, he will start scratching them through there, okay? He will probably, he's putting some clavicle, okay? Even here, we could put spine here and really start fixing those crazy bends. But this can break everything else, so I'm just taking, you know, a risk here to show you. What matters is the final product. If it looks good in every pose, but it's what matters. And that's what you should be keeping in mind. As you can see here, we can make everything smooth, but we're putting spine 4 everywhere, okay? Remember that. Look at that. See, well, this is not enough geometry again, and I want to keep putting more and more vertex in here because I already think I'm pushing a lot of vertex for the spine, which I shouldn't. But just to show you that you could fix even those crazy bends. But the problem is, imagine if I put spine 4 here, and if the spine 4 moves, it's going to move there as well. You understand? So that's why you should be really careful where you put spine 4. It's all about a good balance, okay? I'm being crazy here because I really want to show you the power of skinning and making everything rubber. And yeah. Oh no, okay, don't push it. Okay, now if you go forward, now this is, you should not put spine 4 there. No matter what you say, if you put spine here like this to fix this, you're gonna have problems, okay, eventually later on, okay? So no, let it break. If it's gonna break like that, let it break. Don't fix it, let it break. Some of those areas, if it's a weird movement like this, let it break. Because if you should not be doing that movement at all. Okay, so I put a lot of spine 4. So you can see it's working okay. But you can see here it's starting to get weird. So we need to get back our clavicle. Not this clavicle, the other clavicle. Actually this clavicle. And smooth it out. I'm affecting a lot here. I don't like it. I really don't like it, so just, again, I'm gonna leave it for now, just, you know, but I don't like this. I never recommend this. So just make sure our boobs are always free of any clavicle. Make sure the boobs are boobs, always, no matter what. It's a good advice for you when you make your tops. And make sure in this area is a lot of clavicle and not much spine. just to show you how to fix those if you want to fix on your product. It's the spine mixed with the clavicle. Okay, starting to look okay. I believe this is spine 4 to fix if you want this big bone out of here like that. But again, the more spine 4 you put here, the more trouble it's going to get you. This is all about the geometry this top has. It's in weird places, it's not correct sometimes, but you know, you can put some spine 4. Again, you could put the shoulder. That's why I didn't put the shoulder here, so I can show you the shoulder after. As you can see, I'm putting spine 4 in places that I'm not supposed to. I don't believe spine 4 should be like that in, okay? Even if it's to fix that, I'm just going to do it now just to show you that everything can be fixed, but it can cause troubles. Yeah. Everything with a lot of spines, so we now get a little bit more smooth. And voila. Oh my god, this video is already 45 minutes. I'm sorry, but it's a hard subject, it's a complicated subject. And there you go. See? This is something that you don't want to happen, right? But because we skinned so much, in the beginning it was better. So this is a matter of you coming in here and finding what entered there, and probably clavicle entered there. So if you take now the clavicle bones out of this particular area, because we had so much clavicle that now it's doing a weird bend when the armpit closed, see? So that's why you need to come here, take it off, and find the best solution for you. Now it's getting better again, see? We really wanted to break there, because if it breaks there, everything else is better, so we better just, you know, find a good in-between. Like, even if you just smooth it out, leave a little bit of hole there, but make sure it doesn't break much. It doesn't break the shape of your top, the static of it, okay? Make sure those little details are important. Because in here it looks weird, but with the texture and everything, it looks nice. It doesn't really matter. As long as it looks nice, it's what really matters. And that's it, guys. So far about skinning. I don't want to drag more this video. The same thing applies to this side. Oh, but we have the shoulder on this side. The shoulder works as any other bone, okay? We don't have any movement here. So pretty much what the shoulder does, it's like another clavicle, but the thing is, it should only affect a little bit, okay? You should not really get out of there. You should just spine or shoulder. If you want to use shoulder in your product, you should just use a little bit around this area over here, and that's it, okay? But again, I don't use shoulder normally on my products, because if the bicep moves, I'm going to show you right now. So if I come here and I go back to 0 pose and I move the shoulder, as you can see, it's already doing what the shoulder is supposed to do, okay? And if you come here and do this, you get pretty much the same result as doing just bicep and clavicle. So what's the point of having this extra bone for us to skin? There's no point. So you can just take it out. But if you still want to have it, just to look more realistic, whatever, just paint it as the other one. It's fine. In my products, I normally don't use it. Sometimes I use it, depends on my mood. But normally it's out. And that's almost every subject. There's one little more subject about skinning that I didn't talk about. But I think I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to wrap it real quick. Envelopes. I didn't show you guys how to fix your envelopes. So, for example, if you come here, we click on those little, I don't know if you can see this gray. Oh my God, excuse me. This little gray here, if you just, like that, you can select them, and you can actually play with those envelopes, okay? So how do you play with these envelopes? You can click then on those rings, and you can just pull them like that. See the points moving or the color moving? You can play with this before doing your skinning, so you know it helps you with the interactions. This is the inside. This is 1, and this is 0 to 1. Okay, so the far away ring will be 0, and the closest ring will be 1. Okay. So if we put this on, that's why we get those values. It's a value between 0 and 1. So we start interacting with, in this case, the bicep and the elbow. And it's the same fix. Again, after you do the envelopes, You can even go, for example, let's say you don't want this to move. Okay, you want this to be a specific value. You can go on vertexes as well. Select those. As I said earlier, everything is fixable. And we're going to grab spine 1. Let's say this was the bottom, right? The bottom part, and you don't want it to move away from the bottom part. You can come here and make sure it's 1. Here, just spine, as you can see here, 28 vertex selected, and it's only 1. And if there was any other forces in here, for example, let's say I put spine 2 now there, you can just click here like 0, and you automatically put 1, because, you know, the normalized thing. You can put rigid too, because you're not going to change it, so it's going to be 1 forever. But normalized, always a good choice. Make sure you skin it right. On the next video, I'm going to show you how to use something called skin wrap. And that's it. I think the video is already too long. I already explained how to skin your work. I didn't show you every single bone like I would like to, but I mean, I think it gets to a point where you get it. Same bones, same thing. The elbow here, real quick. Just go here, paint. Grab the elbow. Paint this. Until you find a good result that you like. Maybe you want to break it, maybe you don't want to break. Maybe you want to break the inside, but you want the outside to be smooth. You know, now from now on, you just choose how you want to do this. See, you can fix this again, but sometimes the mesh gets weird. So you need to find a good balance between what you want, how your work looks. See how weird it starts to look if you fix too much. You can make this like a rubber elbow. I have to, yeah. Like that. Just to show you, I'm just gonna. That's why I put this weird move, so I can paint like that. So we find a good. A good in between here. This is the last one I'm doing. Then I'm closing this video because. Some people hate long videos, but it is what it is. When you're learning, you have to watch and see what I'm doing, and I don't know. Okay, already too much piece up here maybe, so be careful. So now when you break forward, see how he's like, this is an extreme movement, but see how he's trying his best to keep it smooth. But if it's not too much brusque, it should be start getting smoother and smoother and smoother. And this is, I'm on an elbow. No, this people should be 1 here, see? So be careful. Just smooth, and find a good in between every single bone. You know, just, it's a matter of you working until you find something you like. All right. Again, it's okay in this example, it's okay to wait to break. Like the shoulder, you should do the same as most as the shoulder. Like, you know, you should not like that. You should do something like that there, okay? There you go. Thank you guys for watching. I hope it was helpful. The next videos I will show you about physics again. And that was it. It was just about skinning. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.